Out of Order English Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Out of Order English Podcast has just started. Welcome. This is Out of Order English Podcast episode number 2. I am Ben from Turkey. We have just started with lots of mishaps today, with lots of confusions, with lots of mistakes today. We have more than one guest. Steve is always here. Without Steve, this program also will not happen. And we have not only one guest, but two guests, Esra and Felix. And how can I say? Maybe we will say in the first episode, you were 3 people and we couldn't feel how the time is passed. Why you are 4 now? And actually, we will talk about that as well. We had predetermined, predefined. Can we say predefined, Steve? Like predefined guest?
Yes, you could say you predefined or prepared in advance something in your mind.
Like we had a guest for today, but he changed his mind because he was about to release his song, and after releasing his song he will appear in our program and maybe he will demonstrate it and talk about it or something. He's a musician, so because he couldn't make it, he said I would like to join in another episode. That's why I reached to Steve and asked him, Steve, we are lack of guest. We need a guest. And there was Felix in the room at the same time, actually. And Felix was interested also to appear in our podcast. And I offered him, Felix, would you like to join us in our podcast? And he said no for me. At least I heard it like that. But now he said no, I said yes. And I want to ask Steve, what did you hear yesterday? Felix, he said yes or no?
I was uncertain. I was not quite sure.
And Felix, you said yes, right? But why we misunderstood you then?
Well, to be honest, I don't have a lot of memories about what exactly did I say, but I'm pretty sure that I would like to join the podcast, but I don't know if I use the word yes or just a positive answer. Maybe the way I express myself is makes a lot of confusions. A lot of people would have heard in a negative way, and I'm sorry about the confusion.
It's okay, no problem. I mean, of course you were already in our list because we want you to appear in our program. But how can I say? The time was not suitable as much as I understand, because you asked the time and you compare it with Steve or something, and then I said if it is a matter of 1 hour we can make it, adjust it, take it a little bit ahead or back a little bit backward. But you said nothing, at least I didn't maybe pay attention, so I said, so let me find another guest. And I know Esra was already also interested to appear in our podcast. And actually before that, there was Riley also, and she's in our room now, and she's like a listener. She's just listening. We have a live audience, dear listeners, today. And actually I don't want to what is called, Steve, when you have only one conversate but you are only one talking, like mono it is not dialogue, but what is it?
Monotone.
Not monotone, okay, if I find it I will tell you.
You're on your own. You're on your own when you're not speaking with anybody and you're making a speech.
Monologue. It is not dialogue, but
monologue, that's it. Thank you, Severa.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, my brain is half asleep today.
Yeah, actually we will talk about sleep as well. It is Esra just let the cat out of the bag. Okay, yeah, and that's why I reached to Esra, because I don't want to tell every step because it looks like we will exceed our time. Okay, Steve, we adjust the time for 13 GMT, and you were here like 1 hour before.
Yes. A little bit of confusion.
It's my mistake or your mistake or Sue's mistake?
We moved the clocks forward last Sunday, so that's GMT +1. That's why I was saying it's now, when we were talking about it, the time in the UK now is whatever the time was. So I thought people would look at the time and go, oh, well, that's so many hours difference. But it did not work out like that. Never mind.
Actually, yeah, I mean, Esra, I also typed to her 13 GMT, but since she's in Turkey, I also put in parentheses like 16 Turkey time. But she was here like in 13 Turkey time. And she asked, where are you?
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to your message, and I saw that it's like 13 according to Turkish time, and I was here 3 hours ago, and I saw that there's no one here. And then I typed you.
Well, yes, it's this time zone difference is really infuriating when around the world, because you say it's 2:00. No, it's 4:30 here. What? Oh, I can't get over these time differences. Grr.
I think that's the whole part of the confusion. Maybe the reason why you guys weren't really sure about whether I'm going to join the podcast is because yesterday I was concerning a lot about the time. I was like, GMT 13, so is it UK time? Is it GMT time? And then Steve was really certain about 1 p.m. UK time, and I was like, wait, but was it? Wait, but you've moved the time forward, haven't you? So that's why I was a bit confused, and maybe that way I made you guys confused as well, so that you guys are not really sure about whether I'm going to join this show today.
Well, we got there in the end. That's the important thing. I mean, we've all been here at different times throughout the day, and we've finally managed to get together at the same time. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, actually, it is just like Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law happens. If anything can go wrong, will go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Esra, you are from Turkey. Would you like to introduce yourself to us, for example, a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Esra, and as you said, I'm from Turkey. I've been using Free4Talk for maybe 5 months or 6 months, and I'm a student in English language teaching department. That's why I really find Free4Talk useful. That's why I've been using it for months, like that.
Very nice. Very nice. Felix?
Yeah, so I'm Felix from Hong Kong, and I'm also known as Elixin on Free4Talk. I've been using Free4Talk for around half a year, since the last August. And my job, well, I am still studying, but I'm about to graduate in 3D animation industry.
Very nice. And Steve, everyone knows you, no need to introduce you, but what do you say, Steve, about our very first episode? I mean, actually, yeah, I also surprised at it. We got lots of encouraging and lots of good feedback for the first episode. I didn't expect to get lots of feedback for the first episode, at least.
Well, it was a surprise. Yeah, it went quite well, and it was a good conversation. It went very quickly, as we mentioned at the time. But yes, the feedback we've had has been really positive, and everybody said that they enjoyed it, that they learned something from it, and it's a nice, pleasant surprise.
Most of them, many of them, they are satisfied or very happy about the voice quality because, for example, you record yourself in your site in higher quality, and I record myself also in the same way, and we mix it. And actually, it is funny, Savira just commented after that. She was our first guest in the program, and she just said, yeah, I will order my microphone.
Well, I think it's nice if you've got a good quality microphone. It just makes you sound better. I was talking to somebody on Free4Talk just before I came to here, and I think in the last week or two, they've bought 3 different microphones because they wanted to sound good. And the one they have now is really good. It sounds very, very clear. And actually, one of those feedbacks also was like that. I don't know, he said, Ben, when I listen to your program,
I don't know, like, I just want to keep on, listen more and more. What's the secret, he said. I said, I don't know.
When we figure that out, we'll market it and make a fortune.
Yeah, actually, I know some tricks, but yeah, let me not let the cat out of the bag. So I didn't tell him anything, Steve,
That's
don't
good.
worry. And our secret is safe.
We have to keep some secrets.
So, okay.
Oh, and just one more comment on last episode. The best comment I think we had that made me laugh was somebody, we were discussing it on Free for Talk, and somebody said, "Oh, that was a great podcast. When are you doing the next one? Tomorrow?" And I was, what? Are you kidding me? Tomorrow? We're not doing it daily.
Yeah.
But I thought that was one of the best comments. We're doing it tomorrow. No.
Yeah, actually, for example, even when we just broadcasted it, I mean, like, put it on YouTube. By the way, actually, I just switched from topic to topic because I feel a little bit, like, nervous because I feel excited when it is recording and I know it will be, like, published. So I don't know, but I feel like a little bit excited. So, okay, I want to just say that it is Out of Order English podcast, dear listeners. It is alongside YouTube. It is on several different podcast platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon, and other platforms like Google Podcast as well. So you can reach from there as well. For example, if you prefer just listening, because we are preparing it like audio only, but we put it on YouTube as well.
Yeah, YouTube's the go-to point for a lot of people, but if you've got Spotify, then you can find it there too.
Mm-hmm. For sure. What was I talking about? I just digress and forget, sorry.
You were talking about I can't remember now. You were talking No, it's
Spotify and Google Podcasts.
Podcasts, and where it's available not only as a video like on YouTube, but it's available as audio only.
Yeah, before that. So, see, it is a test for you. It is like not just the listeners also, like you are taking part in the podcast, but are you listening to me or you are just focusing to what you are going to say? Yeah, I am testing that now.
Yeah, it's what you're going to say next. It's like, oh, we need to keep it going. What am I going to say next? I must make a note of things.
Yeah, actually, I feel that, for example, if something, I mean, like, I am excited or something, I don't pay attention, people, what are they talking about? If I have something to say, I just, like, wait my turn to come and say it, like, to feel relaxed. So now I think you are all the same. I don't know. By the way, Esra, you want to talk about what with us?
I wanted to talk about are you a night owl or early bird? Like, because, you know, we were talking about time. I wanted to be here in time, that's why I woke up early, not to be late. And because I'm a night owl. And I just wanted to talk about that. Do you have a regular sleep order or you have some problems with sleeping?
No, there's too much silence. I can't stand it. Problems with sleeping? Yes, I have problems with sleeping. I used to be a night owl when I was younger, but I'm getting older now, so I generally go to bed about the same sort of time and don't sleep particularly well. But there are occasions where I will stay up a little later. My normal bedtime now is between 10 and 10:30.
That's good.
That's a very healthy time to start to fall asleep, as I reckon, because if you sleep later than 12 o'clock, it starts to be late, and your body metabolism will start to have some problem, isn't it?
That's true. Well, my dog usually starts to pester me around 10 p.m. and when it gets closer to 10:30, she's really pestering. So she likes her routine. She likes to go to bed at the same time.
Yeah, routines are good, but don't you think that night is also peaceful and you can enjoy? For instance, I spend lots of time on Free for Talk, and mostly at night it's more fun. That's why I don't sleep at night that much.
Yeah, for me, I can relate a lot because I do 3D animations, and things about animation is that I have to do a lot of artwork, including computer animation, and sometimes I have to do designs, drawing pictures. And at night, it is the perfect timing to draw.
Yeah.
I don't know, because firstly, it's because I'm more awake at night, and second, is it starts to be quiet, and it feels like the world is yours, and it's the perfect timing to boost up your inspiration, and you just have the energy to do the art.
Yeah, I agree. You can be more creative to draw something, yeah.
They say early bird and night owl, right? I mean, like, for example, if someone likes to wake up early to do things early, they say he's early bird, and if likes to not sleep awake at night, like Esra, for example, they call it night owl, right?
That's right, yep.
What's the reason for that? Is there any reason for it?
Well, we have a saying in the UK, the early bird catches the worm.
Yeah.
So, in other words, if the
I will
birds get
never.
up early, then they get the worms first.
Ah.
I guess I will never catch the worm.
And actually, there was a song by Shel Silverstein. Oh, if you are a bird, be an early bird and catch the worm for your breakfast plate. But if you are a worm, sleep late. Otherwise, the bird will catch you.
You'll be gobbled up.
Gobbled up.
Amanda's joined us. Hello, Amanda.
Yeah, we have many live listeners actually. Yeah, actually, we can also announce that, Steve. Maybe we have also a Discord group, dear listeners. I mean, like, maybe you will have our link in comment section in YouTube, or if you are listening in the podcast, if you go to the official page, you will also have Discord channel link there, so you can join us in our Discord server, because we do the actual recording on Discord. We have so far around 30 members in our Discord channel.
And if the people that are in the chat that aren't microphoned, if you'd like to ask a question that you'd like to us to answer, or maybe suggest something for us to talk about, just type it in and we'll see that you're typing. Oh, Amanda's typing now. What's she going to say? What's she going to say?
Yeah, we are all ears.
All eyes, maybe.
The suspense is killing me. Oh, she's just happy listening. Oh, that's good.
And Avcı, welcome Avcı. You can maybe describe us, because Steve, I mean, Amanda just said, I am happy, and I just remembered phrase, happy camper. What is happy camper?
Happy camper is...
Avcı is happy jumper now, I can say. Okay, sorry. Go on.
She's jumping with that emoticon, or that little gif. Yeah, she's jumping and saying, hey, so you're missing this. You're not here in Discord, so you're missing all the fun. Come and join us next time.
So happy camper is mean what, Steve?
Normally when you're camping, if you're in a tent or a caravan or something like that, it's normally a happy time. So happy camper comes from that, I suppose. I don't know. Let me go and have a look on Google and see where it originates.
Okay. Meanwhile, I will talk with Esra. Esra, for how long have you been having that disorder, like being a night owl? Because I am also like that, but sometimes I also change my sleep time. But yeah, usually I enjoy staying awake at night.
I mean, I don't really remember how long, because for years I'm like that, and I really enjoy actually. Yeah, it's hard, but at the same time I enjoy being awake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, according to Google, a happy camper is a satisfied participant. So a satisfied participant, a contented person, as in she loved the challenge of her new job. She was one happy camper. Mm-hmm. This expression is also often put in the negative, as in she hated the heat and humidity of the southern summer. She was not a happy camper.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Felix, do you want to talk about something?
Yes, I have something in my mind. When you guys talk about the secret recipe of the podcast, the reason why there's so many supporters, I think one good thing about our podcast is that we invite both native speakers and non-native speakers in the podcast, and when people listen to it, they can relate and they can learn English from native speaker, as well as understanding the difficulties or the things we want to pay attention to, or the things we can improve when we're speaking English. Because when we talk about podcasts, there are so many podcasts by native speakers nowadays. It can be American and British, more than thousands of them. But we rarely find podcasts with both native and non-native speakers. So for people who are in the beginning stage of learning the language, it helps a lot. I think that's our secret recipe.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like Steve's appearances, like attendance. Is it attendance, Steve? Can I say attendance?
Attendance, yeah, you could say attendance or participation.
Wow, it is my first time I will use attendance. Okay. Steve's attendance in the podcast, of course, it is makes it valuable. Otherwise, of course, yeah, it is Steve's idea actually. And we name it like Out of Order English Podcast because mostly because of me, because I am the one who cause lots of mistakes, and Steve is the one who will fix things and make it in order. I mean, like works orderly. But actually, when we take out of order, also it means like it is not in line, like not all the time, like it will go like as you expect it. So yeah, it is actually, it suits for our podcast, suits our content as well.
Yes, you never really know what's going to happen next. It's well, the idea was spontaneous. Let's do a live recording. It can be spontaneous, not scripted. So you don't really know where it's going. You're talking about one thing one moment, and then you could be talking about something totally different the next moment, and that's what makes it interesting for people. If it's scripted, then it's all sort of regimented, and you know what you're going to say, and you don't have the same sort of enthusiasm, perhaps, because you're just reading a script. But like this, we don't know who's going to say what next.
But in this case, actually, since I am trying to make the connections or something, I feel like I am like a grasshopper, switch from this content to this content and tries to, like, for example, you go to search for happy camper, and I just switch to again to Esra's topic, and then we switch back a little bit, like hard to, like it is kind of juggling act. What is juggling act, Steve?
It's when you throw into the air some balls and you juggle them when you've got more than two or three things going, and one of them could fall to the side, and then it's all ruined. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to try it, including any bloopers that we make. If you make a mistake, then you can see that it's live, that it's not choreographed, and if somebody does make a mistake. And then we can all laugh at them, which is really fun.
Yeah, I am the one who's laughed at. Yeah, but it's okay, because how can I say? Yeah, I mean, like Steve, for example, if you are like doing something in so high quality all the time, like played by books, for example, after some time, it's at the beginning of the program, you just already said that, like it sounds a little bit after some time monotonous. But for example, now, I mean, like you talk in very good way, I mean, fix things, but I make it terrible, and that makes the listeners a little bit like makes them a little bit like
One thing I would like to say before we end is that Ben has done some fantastic work on getting the podcast prepared and ready, and the idea of it was that Ben didn't spend hours and hours and hours editing it and preparing it and getting it all set and ready for publication. He made an amazing job of doing the graphics. He did an amazing job of the intro, the background music, and the outro. So there was a lot of work last time, but now that he's got the intro and he's got the outro and he's got the background music sorted out, I'm hoping he's not going to spend days editing it. That's the plan, is that you can just put in the intro, put in the outro, a bit of background music, and then you can go, it's done.
Yeah, I hope so, Steve, but I cannot promise about that, because I know myself. But yeah, actually we did the big load. From now on, I think I will focus more for the content, not the repeated parts, at least. Yeah, and of course, I mean, like, thanks to you, of course, one more time. If these out of order English podcasts come into existence, it is because of you. And how can I say? Yeah, let's. Wow, I was thinking, Steve, preparing a poem to read it actually, but yeah, it looks like I will hold it for next time because yeah, I think we have around like 4 or 5 minutes, and actually because after I cut some spaces in between, I can save like maybe 1-2 minutes. So let's make it 5 minutes more. Yeah, we had our guests and we didn't allow them to talk so much, so I feel guilty. Yeah, I feel guilty now. Steve, maybe I can shut up a little bit and you try to talk with our guests because yeah, I all the time dominating the conversation and I feel guilty. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Felix is a talkative person too. Normally when we have a chat on Free for Talk, Felix likes to have a good chat.
Yes. Is that a compliment, or you're too talkative, you're too noisy?
No. You can have a conversation about most things. Your English is good, as I said before. And yes, I know. Yes, you think you can do better. And there's always room for improvement. There's even room for improvement for me. I'm a native English speaker, and I don't know every word, so I come across new things all the time.
Yes, that's right. I think there can be a lot of improvement, even for native speaker. For instance, my Chinese has gone worse. Maybe part of the reason is because I use English a lot more on Free for Talk, and secondly, when I write things, I start to forget how to write or how to like, because in Chinese we've got those strokes and orders, and I just forget everything. And then thanks God there's Google and voice to like speech to text, so that I can just read aloud and it becomes text. But I'm over relying on it. So yeah, obviously when we are in a language, we still can make improvements.
It's thank goodness for all this technology that we're able to put things into and get something out that is in an understandable format, whether it's translating or pronunciation.
Mm-hmm. But does it happen to native speaker, you think? So sometimes you just forget how to spell the word, and like it happens.
Yes, it does.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I'll type something into chat and I think that's not spelled right, that doesn't look right, and I'll check, and sometimes it is spelled right, but my brain's just telling me that's not right. So I'd still check. I still do check sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But does it only happen to simple words or even longer words?
Not so much the simple words, but the words that are not commonly used. Sometimes you look and just think that doesn't look right, and then you go and check the spelling.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of my experience when I'm hanging in university assignment, when I type, and then because of the Microsoft Word, they point out the error or the mistake you make from this wrong spelling. And then it says, oh, you've got wrong spelling. I was like, no, I'm right. And then I look up it for 10 seconds, sometimes minutes, and then I realize, oh right, you're right, I'm wrong. But I couldn't realize what I did wrong until I spent quite some minutes to figure it out.
Yeah, you can't be perfect all the time.
That's right.
We have to say goodbye. What would you like to say for your last words?
Ladies first.
Okay, so it was a nice conversation. I'm happy that I'm here. So
thank you, Esra. Actually, I would like to talk about your because you are interested in painting and you are like interested in arts, but maybe for another time, like if you are maybe in another
maybe
episode.
Later, yeah,
because you have lots of other stuff as well.
Thanks for inviting.
Thank you for participating, Esra.
Yes, thanks for coming in. Nice of you to be here. Thank you.
Thank you too.
And Felix, hi.
I'm so delighted to be part of this podcast because it has been a very nice chat, really inspiring. And my last words would be, yes, Steve, you were right about if we are doing the podcast, time just flies so fast. I feel like it has been, say, 7 minutes, but no, it's already about 35 minutes. It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It does fly by.
Felix, you were also experienced about like podcasting because you were also interested, and actually you have an idea about creating one, I suppose, right?
Yes, I've been thinking about doing English podcasts as well, but I haven't put effort in this, like in investigating how to do it, because I've got experience in doing it in my language, in Cantonese, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, I'm so happy to finally have the chance to speak in English and do a new podcast.
Well, Amanda's just typed, Felix, your accent, I'm impressed. So I was telling you the other day that your English is good, and other people are saying the same thing, so it must be true.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, just to reiterate, if you're listening to the podcast, we've got a Discord server where the audio is much better quality than Free for Talk. Not that Free for Talk is bad, but Discord is slightly better. And if you'd like to join, look at the link underneath the video, and you can click on the link and come and join the Discord group. And then if you have a question for us that maybe you haven't managed to speak to us on Free for Talk, come into the Discord server when we're next recording it, and you can be part of the podcast while we read your question out loud and perhaps hopefully answer it.
Yeah, and let me say thank you to our listeners and our live listeners as well. Let me just mention the names quickly: Riley, Savira, Auji, and Amanda. Thank you all, and till next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you start to long for the next episode. Out of Order English podcast has just finished. Goodbye. Out of Order English podcast.